Ladies and gentlemen, Goosebump, we back. We on it. More books. Yes?
Solid month.
It was a pretty alright month.
Solid month. It's not amazing, but we're in a place where I don't feel depressed about reading these books.
How sad that the bar is that low.
Yeah.
But, I didn't hate these books, so it's a really fucking good month.
Wow.
Oh man. So we've got another ghost book, which if you've been paying attention, you know that it's a surprise that we're like, yay, one of the ghost books.
You just cannot stop writing them. We've still got like 3 of them left.
You're
We're not.
kidding.
Yeah.
Well, what are they?
We've got Ghost Camp. We've got The Haunted School, and I'm pretty sure The Curse of Camp Cold Lake is also a ghost book.
Right. Lucky us.
Yeah.
That's a really small amount though for how many books are left.
Yeah, true.
I guess it's like very front loaded.
Yeah, and I mean like, it's not like the rest of them are like one other thing. They usually got their own thing going on.
Crazy books. Love it. I don't think there's much to ramble about.
What we have to say is in the books themselves, they have very little to do with each other, I would say. Very different kinds of books.
These are 2 entirely different books.
Yeah.
I guess one thing to say is that we did actually stick to our promise last video where we were just going to like rush through another review very quickly. What did you say? This is 2 weeks since we recorded
this
the
is
last
a Saturday. We filmed it Sunday 2 weeks ago, so tomorrow would have been 2 weeks.
There we go. So I've had a great 2 weeks of just doing Goosebumps.
Yeah. Helps when we like the books.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I suppose I go first.
Yeah, go ahead. Headless Ghost.
The Headless Ghost. So I didn't think I was going to like another ghost book going in, but I liked this one because it's like...
Like our last 2 were Barking Ghost and Ghost Beach, which were not winners at all.
Me. Well, you don't know what this book's going to be about going in. Headless Ghost doesn't tell you anything, and then they hit you with Hill House.
Yeah.
And you go, what the fuck? And it doesn't help that we've all seen the Netflix show, so you say Hill House, and I've immediately got something else in my head.
It's like it is a haunted house again, like Dead House, but it does enough different.
Yeah.
It does something.
Well, this one, the Hill House, there's a lot of history about it.
Yeah.
So the best parts of this book are when they're just going into the stories of Hill House. And like that, you don't have that in other Goosebumps books. Enough of that. I'll tell you about what happens in Headless Ghost. I have not looked at this book since I read it, so you need to give me a second. I also don't have time to go over the book before recording because I'm the one setting everything up.
And while he sets up, I read the summary for the other book.
So that's why your summaries are good and my ones are bad.
That's definitely the only reason.
That's it. Oh, that's right. So we have 2 friends as our main characters for the Headless Ghost. We have Dwayne and we have Stephanie.
It's not Dwayne, it's Duane.
Yeah.
I'll put the spelling on the video so you know.
We only found that out in the TV adaptation as well.
Yeah. Well, I just assumed it was a weird thing because like it had the U. So I was like, what is this?
Funny name. So these are 2 little troublemakers. What the fuck do they call themselves? The Terrors?
Yeah, the Twin Terrors.
The Twin Terrors.
Yeah, I really want to ram a plane into them.
They're the Twin Towers of Goosebumps books. So they're the Twin Terrors, and what they do is they go around and they pretend to haunt the town, the fucking wherever they live. Doesn't matter.
I don't think they really name it.
No, not really. So they'll wait till they go to bed. Their parents kiss them goodnight, and then they both sneak out around midnight, and then they go around scaring all the kids in the neighborhood, and they're the Twin Terrors. But they love Hill House. They love Hill House, which is this house on a hill, which was haunted. Now it's like a tourist attraction.
And it was haunted, you know.
It was haunted.
Yeah, there's no more ghosts.
No. So there's all these different stories from within the Hill House, and you've got like your tour guides that show you around the different rooms and go, oh, this is the room where young Jeffrey chopped off his pinky, and now his pinky roams the halls looking for its hand.
This is where the bite of 87 took place.
Fuck me. So they've got a favorite of all of the tour guides. I forget his name. Otto Octavius is their favorite. And he's just like really fucking good at his job. And he like chews every word, and it's like a proper story every time that he talks it through. And they've been on the tours so many times that they can do it word for word. And there's parts in the book where they're just going along for the tour, and as Otto's explaining it, you've got the 2 kids in the background going, and then the thingy died, playing along. And it was really cute and fun. So that's kind of like all of your setup. There's not a lot that really happens in this book. It's like a vibe more than anything. So you've got all your setup with the Hill House and everything. You set up with like the Twin Terrors being the spookers, and then you start finding out the history of Hill House.
Like one of them spots like a spooky-looking kid among the two
I'm
of them.
going to get to that after I do the Hill House history.
Okay.
Which I need to fucking remember, because there's like a bunch of stories and I don't remember most of them.
We just watched the episode that has like all the important stuff.
So the earliest thing that happened in Hill House was the house was built by a sailor, by a seaman, like a captain. Is he a captain? I think he was a captain.
Yeah, he's a captain.
Yeah. So he married his wife, and then he built a house to stay in with her. So they built the house, and he was going to go off on like a last tour or whatever, and then he was going to move back into the house with her. The wife went ahead of him, and then he died at sea. So he never got to move to the house with the wife, but the wife stayed there until his ghost returned to the house. And then the wife looked at the man, and she screamed, and she ran away, and she never goes back to the house, but the sailor, stays there waiting for his wife. So that was like your first little spooky story of Hill House. And then many, many years later, you have another family that goes into the house. I can't even remember how he becomes the Headless Ghost, but this kid sees the sailor, and the sailor says, "Now that you've seen me, you can never leave."
What's the name of the kid?
I can't remember. Andrew.
Yeah.
He sees Andrew, and the sailor's ghost says, "Now that," because over the so many years that he's staying in that house, he transformed from a sailor into a spooky-looking monster. Also, the story says, and then he says, "Now that you've seen me, you can never leave." And then that kid becomes the Headless Ghost somehow.
Yeah.
I can't remember what makes him headless.
It's not a decapitation, because that's a little too gruesome for a Goosebumps book. He's just kind of missing his head.
Yeah, it is. But I can't remember how he becomes the Headless Ghost. I'm sure it says in the story somewhere.
Maybe he just died and he lost his head along the way.
The sailors went,
yeah,
suck shit, and
it's one of those supernatural things where it's like he literally didn't cut off the head. It's just that he doesn't have a head.
That's just like this ghost's quirk. So then now there's this kid Andrew who is apparently roaming the halls looking for his head, and he could never find it. Okay, bro.
He found it.
And then there's another story of there's like this dumbwaiter. I'm just telling you now so I can gloss over it later. There's like this dumbwaiter that a kid once went inside of, and then when it went back up, the kid wasn't inside it anymore, or something. I don't even know if that was ever important in the book, but it was another one of the stories. Whatever.
There's a lot of history. It's a bit convoluted, but I'll take it over just like one ghost thing.
Well, that's what I liked about the book the most. All the different stories and everything, which I'm doing no justice to.
No.
So anyway, all that happens, and then when they're on the tour, well, back to the Twin Terrors, back in current time, when they're on this tour, they've decided that scaring all the kids in the neighborhood isn't enough anymore. Can you shut the fuck up? Scaring all the kids in the neighborhood isn't enough anymore. So they want to scare the tourist guide people. So they want to sneak into rooms that they're like not allowed to go into on the tour. But when they're on this tour, there's a kid at the back that they don't recognize who is just staring at them. And that's real weird. And that's real kooky crazy. They sneak into another room, whatever.
They want to find the head, don't they?
I don't think they were ever looking for the head.
Okay.
I don't think they were ever like, we're going to find the head. I think the friend scares, like the girl scares the boy. One point being like, oh, it's the head, and then...
Okay.
And then when the boy goes, no, what's in the closet? She just goes, you're a fucking idiot. So Otto finds them going into rooms they're not meant to be in, and he kicks them out. And then the boy who was watching them was like, you need to come back another time. I'll show you rooms that, you've never seen before. Oh, I know all the tours.
What was his name?
Otto is my uncle, Seth.
Yes.
Yes. And then he says, come back tomorrow night, and I'll meet you at the back entrance, and we're going to sneak in after hours. So they do that. The boy's like, this is a bad idea. And the girl's like, yeah, but do you wanna? Because I wanna. And he goes, well, I guess I now wanna. So then they sneak in, and Seth's giving them the tour, and he tells them about the dumbwaiter boy, and then they go upstairs into the attic, and that's when he goes, I have to tell you the truth. My name is not Seth. It's Andrew.
Oh, who saw that one coming?
I'm the Headless Ghost. And they go, but you have a head. And he goes, no, it's not my head. This is another boy's head, but I've got to give it back. So Dwayne, how about I take your head now? And then the kids scream, and they run, and they find, like, this hidden door that was not, like, no one had ever found this hidden door in Hill House. And they're running through, like, these, like back rooms. And they find, like, a ladder that goes up into another attic or something. And then Andrew's following them, and he's like, I'm gonna get your head, Dwayne!
I'm gonna get that cake
And then they get up there, and Dwayne's like, not Dwayne, Andrew's like, I'm about to get your head. And then like a head rolls out. They like bump something in this attic, and like a head rolls out. And then like there's the Headless Ghost, who looks like a monster, says, "Thank you for finding my head." And he picks up the head, and then he disappears.
Feels like the end of a quest line.
Yeah. And then Andrew, and then Seth's just like, oh. And they're like, wait a minute. Andrew, Seth, you're not Andrew. And then Otto comes in and he's like, what did I tell you about scaring these kids? Did you try telling these kids that you were the Headless Ghost again? Why? I order, Seth, come here, grab him by the ear, and you kids better go home. And then they go home, and that wraps up that story. And then, because nothing can ever just be good anymore, when they're leaving, how does the last chapter even happen?
They leaving the house. They run into a cop car.
Yes. Yeah. No. They're leaving the house, and then they were like, the cop's like, "What were you doing?" And the cop's
This is
like,
the last chapter, by the way. This is it.
It's like it's been wrapped up at this point already. Yeah. They're leaving the house, and the cop goes, "What were your kids doing in that house?" And they go, "Well, we just finished the tour." And he goes, "What tour?" That place has been closed down and abandoned for years. And they look back, and there's Otto and Seth and other workers smiling and waving, and they ghost and they disappear. And the ending makes no fucking sense.
I was saying this is 3 endings in one. You
Yeah.
get 3 from the price of 1 because you get the Seth Andrew reveal, you get the real Andrew fake out, and then you get the fucking everyone was a ghost all along.
If you had ended it at the actual Andrew fake out, I would have been like, this is a surprisingly good book.
Yeah.
This would actually, it belongs on the board.
Yeah.
With that last one? No. No, fuck no.
It's one of those, it's like Girl Who Cried Monster though, where it's like, that's really what the main thing this book has going for it. It's just that complete...
No, not the last chapter, no. In my opinion, what it has going forward is the stories that I couldn't remember. Those are like the real draws.
It was really memorable, this
really,
book.
really good book.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking bad at this. I don't think I have much more to say about it. I rambled for 10 minutes. I've had a good time.
Yeah, I'll check my notes.
Okay, my only note that is worth pointing out, and I don't exactly remember what this was about. I said, "Return to Oz is calling." I think that's when Seth was like, "I borrowed, this isn't my head, it's someone else's, now I want to take your head."
Right.
Which isn't, like, that doesn't happen in Return to Oz.
I've never seen it.
So there's a lady who has, like, a hallway that's filled with heads, and she takes her head off and she puts another head on, and, like, the heads are alive and stuff.
Okay.
It's really creepy. You watch it when you're a kid, it's fucking terrifying.
Kind of want to watch Return to Oz at some point.
You kind of should, though.
Yeah.
And, like the fucking, like, skater boys... You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, not at all.
They're like these British like punk boys, but they've got rollerblades on their hands and feet, and they roll around in like the destroyed like Oz. Or, like,
whose idea was that movie?
It's fucking crazy.
What was the pitch? What if we did Wizard of Oz again and then we just didn't do it?
What if Dorothy's older? She goes back to Oz and it's fucked up.
Isn't that also like Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. Well, no, that's American McGee's Wonderland. Oh, not really. Well, that's the second American McGee Alice game.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one.
Alice Madness Returns. Anyway, Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, my notes. There's one of the things we find out earlier on is the kids like to switch their lunches, even though they have the exact same lunches.
That's right.
I thought that was funny.
Those kids are weird.
Yeah. They just like... We don't even really get to meet any of the people they terrorize. They're just like little kids that they like tell stories to and then they move on.
Kids.
Yeah. And this also takes place during Halloween. So that's 2 Halloween books in a row.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's never important.
No, it's not.
It's just all Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween again.
It was 2 in a row, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. There we go.
We're really good at this.
Yeah, there you go. 15 minutes. Headless Ghost.
Headless Ghost. Done.
TV adaptation.
TV adaptation.
I'm not going to say they botched it, but they did some things I liked, and they did some things I really didn't like.
We had this discussion, I think, after we recorded it, after the cameras had been cut. How many times has the TV show changed something and it hasn't been good?
The one time I didn't like was Monster Blood.
Yeah. That's the only time. But even then, something that I said it then.
Yeah.
It depends on how much you like the ghost, like the witch, coming out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like that's the only thing that really gets in the way. Because if you want like a more cohesive setup and payoff story, it's a good change. If you want the what the fuck, there's a fucking witch, it is bad. And I'm a little torn on that.
Yeah.
I'm a little fucking torn on
the
which
story
one I like.
decisions this one makes is good. It's mostly the execution, and I'm mainly talking about
the effects. Are so fucking bad.
It's not even like the ghosts look fine. It's the editing and it's the cinematography. Please stop. Please stop. Oh, the editing is who do they pick? Are we getting a flashback?
Yeah, this would be like a nightmare or something.
If you're here,
that is terrible.
Why does this feel like an Indian drama?
I can't name any Indian dramas that I've...
Please
no,
stop!
No, it has to
be... This can't be the whole episode.
No, this has to be an issue with our, with the download. Has to be, because that's so fucking bad.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh. What is going on?
This has very quickly become the worst episode.
Let's just get out of here. Do you want to see some real ghosts?
I fucking hate the editing in this episode. I fucking hate it.
I forgot about how fucking bad the editing is.
It's that opening scene. It's so jarring. I don't know what they were going for, but it was intentional, and that's what makes it worse.
Because they did it... well, I thought it was the download that we had was being terrible, but no, they do it a couple times in the episode.
Yeah.
So it is a choice, and it's a bad choice, and hopefully they never get that editor back.
And there's just so many scenes where I don't know where anything is.
Yeah, very
a
bad
lot of
spatial
close-ups.
awareness in the scenes, yeah. But the story changes are good.
Yes.
The story changes are good.
Do we just get right to the ice cream bit?
I was going to go straight to Otto. Go for the ice cream.
So, Seth, when he's going around the house, he tells him a story. There's this kid that really likes strawberry ice cream, and he just order the maid to bring up strawberry ice cream every single fucking hour of the day through the dumbwaiter. Jinx.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And then one day, the strawberry ice cream doesn't come. So he goes down the dumbwaiter to check on it, and he falls. And the way it's described is no one knew whether his head looked like his head or strawberry ice cream.
It was hard to tell the difference between the boy's face and the strawberry ice cream.
And then we find out, should we talk about Otto first? Otto's really good. Otto's the captain. What?
You jinxed me.
Oh, okay. Jared.
Yeah, so you get the Otto ghost reveal actually has some fucking weight to it because he's the captain. And every time somebody dies in Hill House, they join his crew. And the crew is the fucking, the tourist attraction. It's whatever they're doing in the house at that point in time. So
the way they explain it is he captures them in his paintings.
Yeah, he paints them, which comes out of nowhere, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
He starts painting the girl. What's her name? Stephanie. Whatever. He starts painting Stephanie, and then she's starting to disappear as more of her is painted on the frame. It's whatever. It's fine. But Otto's acting was fucking really good.
The history of this house is one of madness and despair. It was over 150 years ago that a sea captain...
This guy is fantastic.
We're not going to get a lot of him.
No, God, no. And then when you get the reveal of him as the captain, he goes from being a funny, wholesome kind of over-the-top acting man to just full-blown fucking crazy, but in the exact same style.
Yeah. Delete! Delete!
He's so fucking good.
And there's also Seth there, who's the ice cream kid.
Yeah, Seth's there. So,
he's just eating a bowl of ice cream while he's watching it. It's my entertainment.
Seth's acting was so fucking weird when he was pretending to be
He's
Andrew.
Awful.
So fucking weird. But then as soon as you put him in the ye old clothes and he's got strawberry ice cream, and he's you're gonna join our crew. Yes, delicious. It's so fucking good. It was amazing.
That's just a story. You said you were going to show us real ghosts.
Do you think you're really ready?
Yes.
Dwayne?
I'm trying to rank this guy mentally in my most punchable faces. But his face is so punchable, I'm forgetting about the others.
And the door.
Oh god, Evil Door.
Evil Door.
Evil Door.
You have no respect.
Respect this, you old grouch.
Don't!
Whoa.
Uh-oh, you angered Hill House.
You pissed off the door. The gargoyle face on the door like glows like green eyes because it's evil. But then at the very end, when somebody's coming to look at buying the house, and you don't get a look at the real estate agent, you don't get to see his face. But then other people go inside, agent turns around and it's Otto, and Otto goes, "Nyah," and he closes the door, and then the evil eyes glow again, and that's where it ends. The fucking evil door.
Yeah.
Bottom text.
Yeah.
That's
so,
all.
like, most of the changes are great. It's just some of the acting choices and editing just wasn't
I
vibing with
Stephanie was really good.
until the end.
Until she kept going.
Yeah.
And oh no, wait a minute, not very good.
This must have been the sea captain's study.
Let's get out of here.
Not until we find the head.
I like her.
Yeah, she's pretty good, like accurate to the book as well.
You think she'll learn? She'll learn.
She'll learn. Please. I didn't mean it.
I don't like her anymore.
No.
And the other guy was
Dwayne
awful.
sucks.
Yeah, Dwayne, yeah.
Dwayne was terrible.
Yeah.
He was like stone-faced the whole time. His reaction, his choice of reaction was to not react.
I'm gonna pull your head off. Wait. Maybe we could help you. You know? Find your old head?
He'd
And
just
his
be
scared voice is like,
ah!
don't hurt me.
Oh, so weird. Otto was amazing.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Otto, we would have nothing.
Well, we had Evil Door and Strawberry Ice Cream.
Acting.
Yeah,
Acting.
okay.
Acting help.
The door acted.
Give that door an Oscar. No, I don't think there's much more to say about it.
Yeah.
It was a one-parter, so they didn't drag anything out. It was straight to the point. I don't think there were any scenes outside of Hill House.
There wasn't really that in the book either.
No. Well, you have like, it was mostly like the history of learning about the Twin Towers. I was going to say Twin Towers. The Twin Terrors. But all of that is reframed being within Hill House, not... We don't waste any time hearing about them going around the neighborhood and scaring kids. It's just all done within the house. So, you know, a pretty decent change.
And here's to 2 9/11 Goosebumps videos in a row.
Oh, fuck. What was the last one?
Well, there was a Twin Towers reference in a Shocker on Shock Street that I pointed out.
The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena.
Wait a minute.
Who are you?
Wait a minute.
And who are you?
Yes!
Go on, Hadley.
Okay.
Just get into it.
Yeah. I don't normally like the adventure books. They never make it to the board, really.
Uh-huh.
I quite liked this one. It's the best.
I did not care for that one.
Alright.
But, like, not in, like, it sucked or anything.
Yeah.
I nothing.
Okay. Well, I'll get into it.
Yeah,
and
go for it.
We'll discuss it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just think I really liked the setting. I like the establishment of Pasadena kind of just being like this miserable summer place, even though it's winter. And it's like they hype up the winter wonderland. And I think it does the setting better than a lot of these books do. But like the fact that it's in like Egypt or it's in the ocean is kind of incidental. I always felt like there was a presence of like avalanches and shit. That was just what I was vibing with. And I really like the ending. That whole like final sequence I really enjoyed.
Yeah. See, the book's not set in Pasadena.
No.
Not like 3-4 chapters maybe. Only the very end and the start, like technically.
Yeah, the cover and the title is more about that climax than like the
Yeah.
rest of the book.
Yeah, but like that's what the draw is. It's a snowman in an incredibly sunny place. Like that's the draw is that it's like something that does not belong where it is. And then most of the book is, oh no, he's a snowman in the snow. Most of it.
I can get why you're disappointed by that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that is like a lot of these books.
It is.
Where you draw it out. You don't get to the monster shit until the end of the book.
Yeah.
That is like almost all of these at this point as well.
I'm trying to think of, because some of these books
Yeah.
do like a really good subversion. I'm thinking like like Deep Trouble. It was like a pretty fucking good subversion. You think it's going to be a shark book, and then you got mermaids.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't know if that's like a good subversion. I think that's just a subversion.
I think it really is. Well,
Okay.
it doesn't help that I had you going for a year. What's scary about just a shark? And then it's a fucking mermaid.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's look.
I thought it was fun. I'm not going to call it amazing. I just thought it was fun.
Yeah, right.
So it stars Jordan and Nicole, and they live in Pasadena. It's a very hot, sunny place. They've never seen snow. It's the middle of winter. It's still sunny. There's these two twins that just absolutely terrorize them. They hate it there. And then their dad is like, I've been asked to go on an expedition to Alaska to find the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, and I can't find a babysitter. Sam and Cat were not available.
Sam and Cat. No, not the Sam and Cat, Adley.
So they were going to Alaska, and then they get there and they meet the dad's assistant Arthur, and he's just like, you brought the kids here?
Just the prick the whole fucking time.
You can't tell me you didn't like Arthur. He was funny.
He was funny.
Yeah.
He was a prick the whole time.
Yeah, it was fun. He was just a petty arsehole and didn't like anyone. He didn't want to be there.
No, not at all. I think fucking clearly Dyke was just like, why the fuck would you bring kids? We're gonna go find a fucking like monster. Why did you bring kids?
So like, a lot of this book is kind of like Jordan pulling pranks on like the expedition. They find a set of footprints, and it turns out Jordan just made the footprints up.
Yeah. Which pisses off for the fuck.
Yeah, he's like, you do not fuck around with Abominable Snowman, okay?
Yeah.
This shit's for real. I had my friend die when we went looking for this guy. You don't mess with him. And then Arthur fucks off. He steals the wolves, the dogs that do not like the outside. They keep barking at shit and they don't know what it is. So eventually he fucks up with the dogs, and it just leaves the kids and their dad. So they go chasing after him while the dad's taking photos somewhere. And then the
worst dad in the Goosebumps book. He's the fucking worst.
And they fall into a trench where they find the Abominable Snowman.
That's like 12 chapters.
Yeah.
You've just
we've covered most of the book.
Yeah.
Not a lot happens in that middle chapter.
This happens like halfway through. All of that was 12 chapters.
I feel like it's even further in than that.
Probably.
Yeah. He's frozen in ice though. So it's like, oh, okay, we're fine. Then he gets out of the ice and he starts chasing them. Oh, and then he just picks them up and he's like carrying them out of the trench. He's like, oh, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a chill dude. We like him. And then they bring the dad back, and it's like, hey, we found Abominable Snowman. He's frozen again. He also, I guess I should mention, like, Jordan's brought on, like, a bag of trail mix, and, like, the snowman's really into the trail mix.
Yeah, the first thing he does is he eats the trail mix.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up the kids' protest going back to see the snowman. The kids are like, no, Dad, the snowman's dangerous. We only got out of that pit once. We don't want to go right back there. And the dad goes, fuck you, take me there right now. Dad's like, I've got to get pictures of it, so we have to go back to the snowman, even though we've been abandoned and we've been left here, and the snowman is apparently at the bottom of a pit of ice. This is very safe, my two little children, in the middle of a snowstorm. Let's go back.
The parents are never responsible.
So fucking bad.
What I'll say is, I think why I like this book mostly, this is just like King Kong.
It is exactly.
It is basically King Kong.
Yeah.
So they take the snowman back. Jordan sneaks some snowballs from the snowman's lair, and
they've got like an ice cage thing that they can keep the snowman in. That will keep all of the. It's like a freezer bag or something, and it's going to keep all of the ice that the snowman is in. It's going to keep all that frozen, so there's no risk of the snowman getting out. And then he puts his snowballs in there as well.
Yeah.
And he's like, this would be really fucking funny. I can throw snowballs in Pasadena.
And the dad takes some photos just to make sure they've got evidence.
Yeah.
They make it back to Pasadena. And then the twins are like, what did you get up to, Jordan and Nicole? It's like, well, we saw the Abominable Snowman. And it's like, oh, we want to see him. Oh, but our dad said we couldn't possibly open up the snowman trunk. That would be bad. And
we don't believe you then.
He's out at work. All right, fine, we'll show you the snowman. So they
it took a lot of convincing.
No, not at all. And yeah, so they show up the snowman and like, oh, that's cool. Hey, there's some snowballs. Let's throw them around. And they throw one and it lands on a tree and it becomes completely covered in snow. and it just keeps spreading. So Pasadena is being encased in snow. It's like, yay, it's winter in Pasadena.
This is so epic, guys.
And then the twins throws a snowball at Nicole, and she gets frozen, just like the movie Frozen. And then Jordan starts freaking out. It's like, how do we fix this? His idea, I don't know how he comes up with it. I don't know how you come to this conclusion. He wakes the snowman up by like waving the trail mix over the frozen snowman, and he wakes up, and then he hugs Nicole and the tree, and he starts rolling around picking up the snow so everything's unfrozen, and then he just fucks off. And then the dad comes back and he's like, hey, how's the snowman going? And it's like, you asked them not to look at him. How would they know? How would they know, Dad? And they're like, he's like, okay, fine, whatever. Look, we got the photos. That's okay. And he checks the photos, and the snowman's not on there. How did that happen? And then the ending is that one of the twins throws a snowball again at Nicole, and that's it.
What a good book.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I don't even have like points for or against. I'm just like, I don't even. I did have one note that I wanted to check. Okay, so I have two notes that are both fun, IMO. So I have these adventure-style books are like projected Scooby-Doo plots, or like bad Scooby-Doo plots. And then the other one is like a quote that's like, we had no idea that our snowfield adventures were just beginning. I think that's when they're taking the snowman home. And I was like, motherfucker, there's 6 chapters left. That better not be just fucking beginning. That better be almost done.
Something that I didn't have an issue with the book itself, but I'll show you. There's just so many chapters that are like out of alignment. Like, what is this?
That's just the way they fucking
yeah, they fucked it up.
It's the new, because they never do that in the old ones.
No, but like I've never had this issue with the other way, and it's clearly inconsistent because it's like, look at that gap.
I think it depends on how much text is on the page.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it was distracting.
It's only ever the not full page text. It's never like a full page of text is always fine. It's always the other ones. I noticed that as well.
At one point, Nicole calls Jordan a crumb.
A crumb?
I found that amusing.
Because she was like, she was the know-it-all character.
Yeah.
So she was like very annoying.
This is the template for every adventure book. I think this does the adventure book template the best. You might disagree.
I do disagree.
You like Deep Trouble more?
I think Deep Trouble is kind of like a gold standard for the adventure books.
It's not even on the board.
It's not. This one is not going on the board either.
Yeah. I like the one particular exchange that comes to me with Arthur is when Arthur keeps calling the dad Mr. Blake, and he's like, "Oh, call me Gary. I'll call you what I please, Mr. Blake." Like, what a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Book was fine. There was nothing in it that it was bad. I wanted more Snowman in Pasadena, like I was promised.
You were promised Shark in Deep Trouble.
Yeah, but I don't need Shark. I need Snowman in Pasadena.
Jaws is one of your favorite movies.
Exactly. I don't need more. I don't need bad Jaws.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Book was fine. Yeah. More Snowman in Pasadena would have been nice. More Snowman would have been nice. Most of the book was just them walking in the snow. And then you had arsehole being an arsehole. That was 50% of the book.
I didn't mind that so much because I think it played with the location enough.
Yeah. Just not the location that I was promised.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I was surprised because I thought the way the book is like written in the start, it's like a flashback. Obviously, they're all flashbacks.
Yeah.
But it felt like, here's a setup for Pasadena. Here's a flashback to how we got the snowman, and now here's most of the book being about the snowman in Pasadena. But then how they got the snowman ended up being most of it.
Yeah.
That's just the way the book sounded within the first chapter or two. And I was like, okay, that's a cool structure. I can get behind that. Give me 3 chapters explaining how you got the snowman, and then I want to see your cool adventure where it's like fish out of water, but a monster.
Yeah. No, you don't get that at all.
We didn't get that.
No.
Oh, it was fine.
Yeah, he fixes the kids' problems and then he fucks off.
That's it.
Yeah.
So if they did a sequel, that would be what the first one promised, because he just walks away in Pasadena.
You wanted Crocodile Dundee with an abominable snowman.
You know what? Yes. And is that so wrong?
No.
Not at all.
No.
I suppose let's talk about the TV.
Yeah.
Out of
okay.
sight.
Why do we even bother doing these anymore? Why do we even bother?
You know what? They couldn't have done this one anyway.
What they could have done? More Abominable Snowman in Pasadena.
Imagine. Fucking
You don't need to worry about the setting. You've already got a town. You can just film it anywhere.
That's it, literally.
Yeah.
Make it really hot. Have
Yeah.
people drinking orange juice all day and being like, fucking
Yeah.
so hot. And then have your one snowman in the... Just stay out of the basement too.
They have,
Just do that.
because, like, they've had, like, big creature designs before with, like, Werewolf of Fever Swamp or You Can't Scare Me. We know they can do costumes like that.
Yeah,
So that's not an
absolutely.
issue.
They even could have used the fucking animatronic from Camp Nightmare.
We
Again.
love Saber. We love the
Just
Saber
bring
animatronic.
Saber out.
Yeah.
Saber just put a little bit of snow on him.
Yeah.
He looked like an abominable snowman.
Yeah. And, like, you could do with, like, the snow growing effect. All you really need to do is, like, a stop motion thing.
The shitty effects that they love so much.
Yeah.
They absolutely could have done it. If Stein was too much of a coward to set a book in Pasadena, the TV show could have done it.
Yes.
Yeah. My phone is not having a good time. I guess that is the end of Snowman in Pasadena. Do you have anything else to say about it?
Monkey.
Monkey. You have shown me monkey. So, off camera, we both decided that neither of these books are going to make it to the board.
We
So
liked this month. Still, though,
the board's at a good place
Yeah.
now. So we
the
never,
board has standards now.
It does have standards now. So I think there's 2 books on there that are not 100% deserving of the board,
Yeah.
but they're still 2. One of them is Horrorland,
Yeah.
which, you know, is a fucking fun time. So it deserves to be on the board, but not as much as it's not in like the perfect.
No.
So these ones definitely do not qualify for the board already. So we're just going to go through the bin. So, Headless Ghost first. What?
I'll just start reading them out
Can
to
you?
you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you when I think this book deserves.
9 Terror Tower.
Terror Tower is better than Headless Ghost.
Shocker on Shock Street.
Oh, okay, already.
Yeah. I kind of preferred that.
I think this is better than Shocker. Absolutely.
Put her. All right, and then we'll just keep going for Abominable Snowman. We have Return of the Mummy.
That's better than Return of the Mummy.
All right, easy. Back-to-back rankings. How's that? Oh, not really. Like one in between.
So we go from, let's just go from 13. So 13 is Let's Get Invisible, and then and then Fly Away Bird, and then Horrorland, and then
9 Terror Tower, Headless Ghost, Shocker on Shock Street, Abominable Snowman in Pasadena.
Do you think Snowman is better than Shock Street?
I could go either way.
So could I. That's
Yeah.
why I was asking.
Oh, you're not sure? Let's put it above it. Fuck it. Just say they're back-to-back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because the snowman and the snow spreading everywhere is more interesting than
Robots.
the kids were robots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had you been read like 4 or 5 months ago, you'd be on the board, but here we are. Stein
it.
is writing them good again. How's that?
We have standards.
Next month.
Next month. We've already looked at them today.
Yeah.
So we are reading, well, what's the first one? Shrunken Head. How I Got My Shrunken Head.
Yeah.
Which should be interesting.
I read it a few years ago. I remember liking it.
This is one that the original cover is always one that drew my eye.
Hmm.
Always. Very good cover. And then the next one is Night of the Living Dummy 3. Which is
The
our last
end of the
one.
trilogy, yeah.
It's our last one.
I really hope it's not just the same fucking plot again.
No, this one's different.
We're getting the dummy family.
This is
so
different.
It's gotta be fun.
This is going to be the slappy book. This is
Yeah.
going to be the one that we've been waiting for.
I really hope so.
If it sucks, I'm going to cry. So we'll see you next month
See you
for a
next month.
good time, guys.
I got a bone to pick with you.
I've got a bone to pick with you. I've got a bone to pick with you. I've got a bone to pick with you.
Not the Pathways into Darkness. Not the Bungee
I
Brain
got a
Rot.
bone to pick with you.
Oh my fucking god.
I lied to you. My name isn't Seth.
I'm gay.